Hello everybody, Ian Robson here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up the overloader course with a semi-truck. So let's go ahead and record our overloader course. We're just going to start right here. It's going to drive towards our truck right down here. Going to make sure we line up our pipe nicely. So there's a good place to stop it right there. And then we're going to continue on our way back onto the field. So there we go. There is our overloading course, just like that. So we're going to have it set to automatic mode, so it's going to automatically detect the combine. As you can see, it's detected the combine already. So let's go ahead and let it do its thing. So now we're in the truck here. Now what we want to do in the truck is we want to just drive basically a grain transport mode. So let's go ahead and record that right now. So we're just going to go drive straight. And then we're going to turn around. Obviously, we wouldn't want to drive in the field, but for demonstration purposes, this will do the job just fine. And we're going to drive back to our silo just down here at the main farm. And then we're going to take this turn up here, and you're just going to drive right over the silo point, or the unload point right up here. And what's going to happen is just going to drive over this to make sure the trigger is recognized. There we go, perfect. Now we're going to drive back to the starting of the course. So you start the course where you want the truck to be. Okay, so we're going to drive back along the side over here and head back to our original location. So let's make sure we line up with the side here a little bit. So we'll drive along here. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you try to line up as best as possible with where you'd want the trailer to be placed as well. So one of the things you need to remember is that if you come off from a side, it's going to be a little difficult for the trailer to be lined up with the overloader. So let's go ahead and drive the course. Oops, let's put it into the right mode first. Let's put it in there. Let's go ahead and drive the course. So it's going to go to that first loading point right there as this tractor is coming down here. This guy's going to wait right here at that first point, waiting to be loaded. And this overloader is going to come over here. It's going to stop and unload. Just like that. So as you can see, we adjusted it just a little bit too wrong. So sometimes this happens. And what you'll have to do is you'll have to either readjust the course. Let's go ahead and move this guy forward a little bit. So right there. So if that does happen, what we're going to do is going to start the recording the course right here, because that is where our overloader is going to. Let's go ahead and just start recording our course again, and we'll do the same course once again, but now we have the good location for our overloader. And that's important because if you don't set it up correctly, like I did just miss that point right there, what can happen is your truck will not be in the right position for your overloader. And you want to try to avoid that. So if that does happen with this particular trailer, you need to be careful because the trailer doesn't really have a good trigger point, so you have to just be careful of that. And your trailer could have the same problem, so just take that in consideration, because the tipping point, or where it's recognized as a tipping point, isn't necessarily at the back or the front. It sometimes is in the middle, and that's the only spot that's recognized as a tipping point. So we're going to go ahead and continue this course right over here, and we're just going to drive. Oops. Just going to drive right over here. We're going to make sure we line ourselves up once again with that first waiting point, just to make sure we're in the right position. So here we go. It's going to stop right here, stop the course, and we're going to set it so it drives to that very first waiting point. And what should happen is just stop right here, and the overloader is going to continue overloading there. So what's going to happen now is once the truck is full, it's going to drive over the unloading point and go from there. So as you can see, it's going to just fully unload, just like this, and this overloader is going to go and unload the combine once again. So the combine's at 50%. Let's go ahead and request the driver again. There it goes, it's driving away. It's going to go over to the combine. It's going to go over to the combine once it's recognized that the combine needs to be unloaded. So there it is, it's just recognized it. And now it's going to go up to the combine once again, and it's going to go and overload into the truck. So what the truck's going to do is right now it's just sitting here waiting, but if I hit the drive now button, It's going to drive the course we just recorded, and it's going to drive over to the unload point at the silos and unload right there. And that is how you set up your semi-truck with an overloader. So I'll just show you the truck. It's going to do its thing. It's going to drive down here once again. It's going to drive over that unloading point, and then is going to unload, obviously, and then go back to that very first starting point, which is where the overloader unloads. So here we go. It's coming up to the tipping point right here, like so. It's getting ready to unload, as you can see. It's going to go and tip. Once it's ready to start tipping, it'll obviously start tipping, and there it's going to go back. And this guy is unloading the combine right now, so once this guy is fully done or fully unloaded, he's going to drive on his way. And the truck is almost done. Okay, so this combine's probably almost finished as well, so once that combine is fully unloaded, this guy's going to drive away. So I set him to drive now, so he's going to go back to the overloading point. And now the truck is done, and it's going to go back to that initial point where we started recording the course. So let me just show that to you, and then we'll close it up here. So there you go, the truck's going back to that original overload, or the original spot where we started recording the course, and it's going to wait there until it's full, and then it's going to drive away. So there we go. The truck's going to go back to that first point, which is just up here. It's going to stop, it's going to wait there, and when it's full, it's going to drive away. So there you go. It's coming up to that first point right again, which is right here. It's going to sit here and wait until it's 75. So until it has 75,000 liters, and then it's going to drive away. And here we have the overloader doing its thing once again. And that's, folks, is how you set up an overloader with the semi-truck. My name is Iain. Robson. This has been another Courseplay tutorial, and I'll catch you guys later.